you're going to be loyal to your group. And if this outside group starts impinging, that's a big threat. These people are different from you. So it really is an evolutionary advantage to really dislike them and hate them, to make them awful, to get rid of them so you survive.
Yes.
So this, right, no, wait. The pure and good is an abstraction. So when you look at some of these things, like when you look at racism, and maybe from evolutionary point to where it comes from, it kind of makes sense. When you look at obesity. Obesity is rampant, but for most of the time we've been on this earth, we've not had enough to eat. And our brains have grown to really like fat. And fat is a very, you know, you eat a lot of fat, you store up fat, you have a huge survival benefit. So our brains have really evolved to crave fat. But now, when we have enough to eat without any of that, this is what happens.
Yeah, so we are anticipating.
So we are outstepping our development has outstepped our evolutionary reasons for why we've developed the way we have. And I think some of those transcend cultural things, like, for example, racism. Why is it such a huge problem still?
Yeah.
And I think that there was an evolutionary reason for why it happened. That, 20,000 years ago, yeah, those people across the river, they're really bad. I hate them. We need to kill them. Right? I mean, you can understand how that. So what's happened? But then at the same time, you're going to be loyal to the people in your group, right? I mean, the survival of the group depends on the survival of the individual. So a lot of these things that we look at as bad came from somewhere. And I'm not saying that this is a rationalization for racism. I'm not saying that racism is good. But you have to look at it from, and I'm an evolutionist, I look at it from an evolutionary standpoint. Another interesting thing is when people get sick, when they get really sick, they stop eating. They lose their appetite. Why do you think that is? 20,000 years ago, if you're in a group and you get sick,
you won't get fed. Yeah.
It makes a whole lot of sense for you to die very quickly. Exactly. Because you are a burden on them. You want to hear something really interesting? Have you been down to see Sue? The Tyrannosaurus skeleton in the...
Yeah, I've seen Sue.
Did you see her bone?
Yeah.
Her fibula?
Yeah.
On her fibula, which is down here, there's a huge callus. This means that the fibula is broken. So from that, they make all these assumptions because an animal that big would never have been able to survive, be able to eat and hunt with the fibula was broken. So now they're thinking that maybe these animals were in a community and the other animals helped this individual out. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, that is neat.
So maybe it was chronic osteomyelitis.
He's always got to come up with some other reason. Like, well, if she's got myasthenia gravis, then the steroids fixed her.
Just to make the discussion interesting.
My son was I wanted to put him in the stroller. He goes walking off. He goes, I said, Leo, come here. Of course, he doesn't come here. Leo, come here. And I go up to him, and I'm kind of irritated. I said, Leo, you can't be running away from me when I want you, because it's not safe. He says, I'm not running, I was walking. I'm like, what are you going to be, a lawyer when you get older? All right, I got to go finish my notes.
Thank you, Dr.
But that's all, it's all very interesting. So when you look at some of these aspects that are not so great, we have as people, like racism, hatred, I think there are reasons why they're there. And I think that some of our development has outpaced the evolutionary reasons for why these things may be here. It's not saying that there's a, I'm not condoning anything. But I mean, when you think about it.